Welcome back. Welcome back. It's my life, our government, our society, our people. Spoken only by the infamous Eric A. Cinotti, providing you insightful, collegiate, intelligent, argumentative at times, commentary. All right, so let me start off by saying, oh, I have this squeezy in my hand. Please don't take that as a threat, anybody. It's just a fun thing. I go to the gym and I work out. All right. Let's hit a few things here. I got my coffee over here. So, my life, my society. Let me start by saying, what you are not aware is I actually have some production people and some sponsorships, and the actual viewage is not really listed, as well as comments are not listed on the the video for you to see. But I can tell you there's something called analytics, and I was told this morning that our numbers are insane. So I want to thank you all. I think it's some odd like almost 10,000 people in less than 24 hours in the first day. So that's good. So you probably are going to start seeing maybe some commercials pop up. I'm sorry. Buy a YouTube premium or deal with it. I also may pop up a commercial or two myself verbally. I actually want to do a quick shout out to and thank you to Sammy the Bull Gravano. On his show, he has our thing, and he talks about this MVMT watches, and I've been in contact, and they're sending me out 2 different watches. The gold one that you wear, Sammy, in your show, which I think is very, very, very nice, very impressive, very good look for you. They're sending me one, and they're also sending me a silver one. So I thought that was nice. Thank you, Sammy, for letting us know about that. And they're sending me 2 of them. I'm going to try them out, and I'm going to tell you, my viewers and fans, what I think. But I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, so the emails have been rolling in. Thank you. The emails have been rolling in. I am responding to you. I did my first giveaway the other day. I'll try not to say what the giveaways are unless if they ask. But good news, because our numbers are high, we want to give away more stuff. Let me give you things. Have you ever heard that before? No, right? I didn't think so. I want to give you things. Tell everybody to watch. The more we have, where numbers are going high. We're hitting the numbers. You can grab me on Facebook as well. Eric A. Cinotti Speaks. You'll see the videos there as well as clips. I want to give you things. I got tickets to shows. I got all kinds of stuff. I even have somebody offering up a weekend trip. So just come around. Send emails with questions. It is Eric A. Cinotti Speaks at gmail.com. Eric A. Cinotti Speaks at gmail.com. Get me there. Ask me some questions. I'm going to answer them in a separate venue as well as the show. But I want to give away these things. I think it's great. This is a new world we live in. And we, the people, finally have more control. So, as I said in this show, we're going to talk about our life, our government, our society. So, I don't want this to be like a college lesson, but it is, in a way. I'm going to tell it to you like it is. No garbage, no nothing. I'm going to give it to you the real way. And I guarantee you what I'm telling you is fact and truth and real. I want you to look it up, ladies and gentlemen. Please, always be prepared with your phone, your smart tablet or something to look it up and ask me a question. All right? So in this wonderful country of ours, we have 3 branches of government. Okay? 3. Shockingly, a lot of people don't know this. I found this out from my students. They're not aware. It's okay. Like I said, public school system, not always up to par. 3 branches of government. No particular order here. I'm going to explain them to you, and I'm going to tell you who they are made up by, what they do, and how they get in that branch, and how they work together, and how each one affects you and me directly, and how them together in tandem affect us all too. That's just one piece of today. That's how exciting it's going to be. So, branch 1, all right? I'm going to save the one that we all dislike the most for last. That's just no particular order. That's just my personal opinion. By the way, here it is. This is America right here. I have one of these everywhere. U.S. Constitution. Like I said, get it on your phone. If you don't have it, I get you a free one. Send me an email. If you need a pocket one, I get you a free one. And I'll autograph it too. All right. So, first branch of government is the legislative branch of government. Within the legislative branch of government, ladies and gentlemen, you have your people that make laws. Your legislators. They make laws. That's a very large group. Okay? High end, we're going to start high end. I'm going to bring it right to your neighborhood. Even to you, Joey. I know you're watching. Even to you. I'm going to bring it right down to the neighborhood. At the highest level of legislator, we have United States Senate. Senator, Madam Senator, Mr. Senator. Every state in the United States has 2 senators. 2. That means we have 100 senators that encompass the Senate. That's at the federal level, the highest level. Those senators are elected by you and me in my state. Okay? Very flat. They are elected by the popular vote. No other thing else. Don't get confused when you hear electoral college. That's only dealing with presidential stuff. We'll get to that. That's a whole probably lesson. Senate is part of the legislative branch. There's 2 of them for each state, elected directly by you, the voters. Generally Republican or Democrat. I will explain what the difference is between the 2 of them, and you'll be shocked. I will tell you some of the stances, and you'll be blown away. 2 senators for each state, 100. Legislative branch, you have Congress. Congressman, Congresswoman. They make laws too, okay? They're at the federal level. They're up there with the U.S. Senate. They are determined on how many a state gets based on the population. Again, they are voted by you, the voter, in a general election, but they are done by congressional districts based on the population. So if you live in a very small state like Delaware, you're going to have less. And if you live in California, you're going to have very much more. Which again, kind of goes along with the electoral college that we'll talk about later because that's very important. Okay, Senate. So we had Senate, Congress. Those are your major players, right? Let's rock and roll right down to your local stuff. Your state level. You have senators. You have assembly people based on where you live. They're going to be a state senator, a state assembly person. Lots of titles around the board. I'm a Jersey guy, all right? Born and bred, loving Jersey. We have state senate. We have state assembly. Your state senate is modeled after the Senate, the United States Senate, and our state assembly is modeled after congressmen and women. Okay? Done by districts. They create laws that affect the state only. I'm going to break that back down in a second. I'm going to hit that on what they do. I'm just telling you who they are now. Your next level is at the county level. Again, my wonderful state of New Jersey, you have county freeholders. Freeholders, not freeloaders. We always think that. Freeholders. They're elected on a general election by elected voters in their respective county. They make the laws that have to do with people in that county. Now, Joey, and all you other people, local, your city councilmen, city councilwoman, committee woman, committee man, alderman, all these wonderful titles. They're legislative. They pass ordinances and policy for your city, town, township, borough, whatever you want to call it. There's a million of them. All fall, actually in New Jersey, it falls under the Faulkner Act. That's the type of government each city runs under. For those of you that think I really don't know what I'm talking about, just to pop out there. Wrote my thesis on that, actually, a thesis on the Faulkner Act. And that's discussing the different types of government each particular city in New Jersey can operate. So, to rehash where I go off on a tangent, that's why I need somebody here with me to pull me back in like a fishing pole. I talk too much. I don't talk, I talk too much. May get some people angry, but I never talk about. I'm not a rat, and I don't talk behind your back. So when I say I talk too much, just because I like to ramble. I'm not a rat, and those of you out there that watch know that's true. And the people that want to hurt me want me to be, and I'll never rat. I don't do it. I'm not giving you anything, so what are you doing? You're wasting time. So anyway, those are that's your legislative branch. Now in a quick nutshell on that, they make the laws at whatever level, okay? We'll just go broad, law. They make the laws. That's it. They write them. On your other branches, you have the executive branch, starting at the highest level. The President of the United States is the executive branch. The FBI is in the executive branch, Department of Justice, blah, 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 whatever. We won't go there, all right? It's not a sloppy suit section today, so we're just going to talk about the executive branch. So the president is the executive in the executive branch. Also, the governor in your state is the executive. The county executive or whatever you have that runs your county, and the one person that's in charge is the executive. Your mayor and your towns and whatever you want to call them is the executive. That's executive. The executive branch enforces the law. The police are part of the executive branch. They enforce the law. They don't write the law, although they think they do. They have no power to write the law. They don't. You know who I'm talking to. You are not immune to the law. You don't make the law. You're not above the law. You can't hide from yourself. You know it. The police do not make the law. Okay? They enforce the law. They enforce law that's written in the books, not things that they woke up in the morning and said, hey, I want to do this. Doesn't work that way. We got this thing here. It doesn't work. All right. Now, another branch, the third one, the judicial branch. That is the justice system, meaning your judges, etc. Now, here's the confusing part. Ready? District attorneys, prosecutors. Don't be confused. They're in the executive branch. They're not in the judicial branch. Although we know you cheat and you try to pretend to be both. You're not. When you make an application for a warrant, you're an executive branch member talking to a judge who's a judicial branch member. You out there, my loyal followers, my subscribers, my fans, that is the truth. The district attorney, the prosecutor, is in the executive branch. The judicial branch includes the judges and the judges' staff, clerks. A clerk is not somebody who's a typist, by the way, okay? Let me tell you what a law clerk is, for those of you that want to quack and not know what you're talking about. A law clerk has a law degree. A law degree. And they hear cases similar as a judge. Sometimes exactly as a judge. Assigned to particular cases. Serving maybe as a magistrate. Serving in landlord-tenant court. Serving in traffic court. Okay? The word clerk, it's confused. Okay? Do not be confused, okay? Still, they're part of the judicial branch. All right. Now, what does the judicial branch do? Let's bring them together. The judicial branch makes decisions on all kinds of stuff. Not just things that people did that might have been bad. That might be one of them. But they make decisions on things that are constitutional, decisions on actions the government may have taken and not taken. They make the decisions whether there's going to be a search warrant on you. Ultimately, they have to sign off on arrest warrants. There has to be probable cause to issue an arrest warrant. They sign it. Your judicial officer will sign that warrant. That is the judicial branch. How they work together in a nutshell, because I have so much more I want to cover with you today. So they work together. Your legislative branch creates some laws. Then they send it over to the executive branch. The executive branch will then, the judicial branch votes it to be a law. Then it goes to the executive branch, and you've heard whether the president will sign it or not. It goes over as a bill. It's a bill. It's not a law yet. It's a bill. They voted a bill. It becomes a law when the president or the governor or whoever signs it. The judicial part in this is very small, but very important. Their job, listen to me good here, their job is to review. It's called judicial review. They briefly review the newly passed law, bill that became a law. They review it to make sure it doesn't violate anything in this beautiful, beautiful document. Isn't she beautiful? They make sure it works for that, okay? That's their job in the process of the administration of government. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, I told you I had a master of public administration. Therefore, I'm a master in the administration of the government. Okay? Understand? So, that being said, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. There was some kind of power issue. I have no idea. We're going to pick up right where we were. So, we talked about the judicial branch doing a review. The review is the review to make sure that it fits within this document. That's it. It hits that document. All right. Email me questions. I don't want to go in too deep on that because I want to hit other things. When you're talking about criminal justice, here's something you didn't know. There are two different types of criminal offenses. Two different types of crimes, okay? This I know you don't know. Two different types of crimes. Very important. Mala ense and mala prohibita. Mala ense, mala prohibita. Let me explain what that means. Let me give you a little brief history. A lot of our law system is based on Latin, okay? So you'll have a lot of Latin words. So, mala ense and mala prohibita are the two types of laws that are in the system that could be broken and one could be charged with. All right? Mala ense is the worst type of crime. That is rape. That is murder. That is some terrible things. Okay? That's mala ense. Mala prohibita is I don't want to say stupid things, but things that are technically, quote unquote, prohibited. Speeding in your car is a mala prohibita. Alcohol violations, mala prohibita. How about this, ladies and gentlemen? Drug violations, some of them, as long as nobody got hurt, it's mala prohibita. Okay? Obviously, marijuana is becoming legal in many places. Mala prohibita. Mala ense, mala prohibita. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the first you've ever heard of those things. Now I'm going to give you I'm going to break it down a little more. There are two different types of crimes. Unless if you're in New Jersey, then it's a little different, and I'm going to explain it to you for my Jersey people. You have a felony, and you have a misdemeanor. Okay? A felony is a charge that is punishable. And here it is. Everybody makes it sound very bad. That's why there's different level felonies. Let me explain this. This is very, very important. Okay? A felony, and the difference between that and a misdemeanor is very, very minute and basic. If the penalty could require the defendant or the accused to spend 366 days in lockup, let's just say lockup because I'm going to explain jail and prison in a minute. If it's 366, it's a felony. If it's 365, it's a misdemeanor. There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's the difference between a felony and a misdemeanor. Now, yes, you have murder, capital murder, murder one, all that. But your basic bullshit stuff, misdemeanor, 365 days in county jail and below, 366 days, it becomes a felony. So don't look at all felons and think, oh, because you know what? Your speeding ticket could turn into, a DWI could turn into that felony. 366 days moves you from a misdemeanor to a felony. That's simple. My Jersey people, we're a little different but similar. In New Jersey, you have indictable offenses. Indictable offenses. When a grand jury would vote to indict. Those ones, they go 1 through 4. First degree, second degree, third degree, fourth degree. Fourth degree indictable offense is a felony, and that's the 366-day rule right there. Anything below that is a disorderly persons offense, which we would call a misdemeanor. That's your 365 and below. Then New Jersey has a PDP, a petty disorderly persons offense, which is something even lower. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a felony is 366 days of potential max potential time in lockup compared to 365. There is the difference. That is what they don't tell you. That is what the news lies about. They don't tell the truth. Explain it to the people. That's your job. They created a goddamn amendment, the First Amendment, freedom of press. Do your job. Explain to them what it is, what's your freedoms, so the people understand. Okay? Now, let me go into a little bit more detail on that. We have what we call an adversarial system here. Okay? Adversarial. What does that mean? They're not your friends. Okay? The DA, he could smile all he wants, or she could smile all they want. They're not your friend. They want a conviction. All right? The police, they're not your friend. It's called an adversarial system for a reason. It's written into the code. It's written into the system. Adversarial. Adversaries, they fight. They're not your friend. If you're accused of a crime, those guys or gals are not your friends. They're adversarial. They're there to get you. They might say otherwise, but they're there to get you. Your friend is your attorney, your private attorney, your public defender, or court appointed, whatever it might be. I'm not going to get into what that is, maybe down the road, but you know who these people are. Okay, but it's adversarial. Remember that word. They are not your friends. You don't want them as friends. Don't invite them to your house. Don't talk to them. You have no need to associate with these people. When you do, you only open yourself for bullshit. Okay, it's adversarial. All right. Now, I said to you before, prison versus jail. Okay? Misdemeanor, 365 days. Felony, 366. Prison versus jail. Some states call it detention. Prison versus jail. Prison is for mostly convicted people who are serving a charge for more than 365 days. They're your 366-day people. And prisons are generally run by a state or federal government. Some privatized as well. We can get into that one day. But that is a prison. A jail or detention center is for people who are going to do the 365 or less. It's run by the county. And also note, many people, and this is another thing that some people do, some sheriffs, you know who you are, you're one of them, they don't let people know that even if you're in county jail, you're not convicted yet. Maybe you couldn't make bail. Remember we talked about bail the other day in the other show, 8th Amendment, bail, you're entitled bail. If you can't make bail, you got to sit in county jail till you make bail or a judge lets you out. You are not convicted. You are innocent until proven guilty. Again, adversarial. Some states, and I can't remember who, I want to say it's out west, they do some wonderful things. In the county jails or detention centers, they will have people who are convicted of a crime wearing the orange. And the people who are awaiting trial or awaiting bail wearing in different colors. So this way, you're separated because you're innocent to proven guilty. This system and the media, you know who you are. You know who you are because you were terrible, some of you people. You convict somebody before they even get there. How are you going to get a jury? How are you going to get a jury when the news media blasts you all day long and you don't have an opportunity to defend yourself? You don't have an opportunity to tell your side. How about when the prosecutor and the sheriff tells the story for you and you don't get your chance to do it? It is what it is. That's why we have this new show called Our Life, Our Government, Our Community. By the people, for the people, of the people. That's right. Abraham Lincoln, the man. So, that's jail, that's prison. Let's going to talk about some more. I do apologize for the technical error. Hopefully we can get them bled together. We were talking about the news, right? You have juries. Now, you're generally entitled to jury, but they have on most crimes, unless it's very small. You're not serious. Mala prohibita, more than likely. And you also have the right to a bench trial. You can deny the jury and just go before the judge. But here's the problem. Let's say you commit a crime or you're allegedly committed a crime. Remember, allegedly. Everything's allegedly because you didn't maybe do it, okay? The news media goes out and tells a great story. Maybe they're friends with the elected people. Maybe they're friends with everybody but you. What invested interest do they have in you? Maybe they just tell their version of the story. Maybe they just, let's just say, I don't know, suck at doing an investigation. Maybe they just ignore the phone calls of the accused when they try to say, I'd like to give the story. I don't know. But the more stories they run, the more people they reach, it makes it harder for you, should you ever, God forbid, knock on wood, should you ever find yourself on the other side of the adversarial system, being accused of something, and then they run you in the news. Are you going to roll the dice? Do you gamble? You go to Vegas, Atlantic City, maybe one of the Indian casinos? I don't know. Would you roll the dice on your house? Would you roll the dice if you had a wife and child after the news beat you up forever? Would you roll the dice that a jury would come in and say, this guy didn't do it. This looks like crap. This is garbage. Would you do it? That's what you really got to think about. Would you do that? Until you're in that situation and you're looking around you, it's a very lonely world. It's a very lonely world. It seems like you and nobody. And the only things you're thinking about is, do I have the finances to cover this? And how do I protect my family? The only way that the jurors, the people that are going to vote whether you're innocent or guilty, the only way those people are chosen randomly, so they say. Those people, they get their information what's in the courtroom. But let's be real. It's going to take a year to get your case in. And don't think that the district attorney doesn't shovel your case to the back of the load so the news can run some more shit on you over and over again. Or they drag it out so they can dig up more garbage to stack. We call it stacking because they know they don't have ungats. They got nothing. So they drag it out so they can stack. You know, it's like stacking burgers at Burger King, you know. They make it the way you like it. Well, the prosecutor, makes it the way he likes it, not really the way it is. So, so all that time, the news is running stories on you. Where were you out there saying anything? Well, all those people that are turning on the TV, they're watching this crap about you. Maybe you're lucky in telling your story. Maybe you got a good attorney that's out there talking. That depends on where you live. If you're going to get somebody with a set of something, maybe it's female, male, so I don't want to say, but a set of something big and brass to actually stand up to the quote unquote man and fight for their client and counter the news media. But that costs money, and somebody has to be willing to do that. Based on where you live in this country, they may not want to do that so much. These are things you need to keep in mind because we live in an adversarial system. Even though this wonderful book is what it is, and I swear to you, this is the best book ever, besides the Bible, which is right over there. This book really is a great book. There are a lot of people that know how to navigate that book. There's a lot. All right, here's another good one. Attorney and lawyer. There's actually a difference, ladies and gentlemen. There's an attorney and a lawyer, there's actually a very slight difference. And some will argue with me here, and that's okay, because I have stacks of evidence, because I'm a scholar and a professional researcher, and I can stack you back with 20 pages to your 1 page on that this is true, okay? Let me tell you the difference. An attorney and a lawyer. And then I'm gonna say one thing to the end of that, and then it's gonna roll in your head and you say, that totally makes sense. A lawyer is someone who is trained in law, schooled in law, having a law degree. They know the same stuff as the attorney. The difference between the two. And this varies slightly state by state. So again, don't quote me. My adversarial buddies out there, I'm not providing advice or making an affirmative statement. I'm saying it's different from state to state. I'm making a broad, generalized statement. So the lawyer and the attorney have the exact same education. Probably the lawyer has more than the attorney because the lawyer is a scholar and more than likely has been a professor and does tons of research and works on a lot of cases for law firms. The attorney then, after their degree, will take an exam called the bar exam and get a license in the state, and then they will individually represent somebody in the courtroom. They are your attorney in fact. So doesn't mean they know everything. They may know nothing, but they rely on lawyers to help them prepare your case. That's why there's more than 2 people sitting at the table if you watch big cases, and only one guy or girl is speaking, but the rest are typing away and writing away. There you go. Boom! Lawyer versus attorney. And I'm going to put it in a nutshell. People that are a little older, have you ever gotten a power of attorney? Have you ever got a power of attorney? I have. You need to give your wife or somebody permission to sign your name when you're not around, right? We've all gotten a power of attorney. Did that person go to law school? Are you going to go to court if you're under murder because you gave your wife a power of attorney? No, you're not. But she has a power of attorney. There's your answer. She's appointed to speak on your behalf. He or she is appointed to speak on your behalf. That's the difference. The lawyer is not appointed to speak on your behalf. And such, they're not going to provide direct legal advice. They're going to do the research. They're going to do all the work and turn it over to the person appointed to speak on your behalf. When you hear this, don't let the naysayers and the other people that don't know what they're talking about, that don't know the history of this country, that don't read the Constitution and don't read case law, don't read cases that went before the Supreme Court. Attorney and lawyer are 2 different things. And let's move into some questions, and we're going to kill this. Read me off a question.
All right.
We had so many. I'm going to do a giveaway today, too.
The first question, why are you doing this show? What motivates you? Ken from Patterson, New Jersey.
Patterson. We call that P-Town. My old hood again. All right, Ken, what motivates me? Number one, I love this stuff. I truly, honestly do. I've dedicated my entire life to public service, starting at the age of 14 in the local town that I grew up in. And ever since, I've been involved in public service in some facet, as well as teaching and educating myself. That is my passion. I love it to death. I love it. That's all I want. That's all I want to be. And I love to help people. I feel good generally about it. I actually mean that. What is my purpose for this? Because I have had people attack me and do things to me that are so unjust, heinous, disgusting. Character assassination, character of my family. So I feel I need to set the record straight and I need to put my knowledge to the table. And thank God I got some production people that are here to help me do that, Ken. So let's go on and keep going because we have a lot to do. Next question.
Okay. Second, I'm from a university. I officially emailed you. Would you consider doing a project with my university and teachings? Private, USA.
I saw your email. I read it this morning. I didn't have a chance to do it, to respond. I am very interested. That is a wonderful university. I hope you're watching now. I'm going to get back to you. Yes, we will do a project. And yes, I would love to teach courses. And yes, I will provide additional services to you and your students. I'm very interested. Yes, yes, yes. You'll hear from me. Thank you.
All right. Last question. What are your passions besides the show? From Leslie, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Whoa, Charlotte, North Carolina. Good old Brunswick County. We'll leave it there. I got nothing to say. Well, Leslie, my passions besides this, I truly am passionate about this. I love my country. Everything about it. I love history. I love to go to historical sites. I love Washington, D.C. I can't get enough of the sites of D.C. Abraham Lincoln is my personal hero. I can't get enough of learning about him, and I can't get enough of museums, art. I just love it. And I can't get enough of volunteering. Those are my passions, Leslie. Stay tuned because I'm going to talk about more. I had so many emails. I did my best. I'm going to still reply to you. I can't put everybody on the air. Somebody's getting a giveaway. So let's go from there. I apologize. I apologize for the technical error. We will try to bleed them together. I will be back with you again later for a follow-up on questions. But as we say, we are saying this is my life, your life, our community, our society, our way, by the people, for the people, of the people. Spoken by none only by Eric A. Cinotti, your faithful commentary specialist to provide you the facts and only the facts, the truth. I'm out. See you next time. That's live.